Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. Today we're going to try out a real-world disease called Chagas-Mazza disease. I think normally it's just called Chagas, at least in the US. Your mission is to play as one of the most feared diseases in South and Central America. Can you annihilate all human life on the planet? Now, a very brief Google search on this does confirm that yes, this is a real disease. It has a very long scientific name that I could not possibly try to pronounce. So we're going to ignore that. Parasite, metabolic jump, genetic mimic, oxidized human file, and symptostasis should be fine. Trypanosoma cruzi. I don't think that's a scientific name that I saw, but maybe I'm wrong. We play as Trypanosoma cruzi, the etiological agent of the Chagas-Mazza disease in humans, Dorine and Sura in horses, and brucellosis-like disease in cattle. Okay, I didn't know it actually affected multiple species. That's fun. It's endemic in the majority of South American and Central American countries. Recommended to start in one of them. All right, fine. Let's go ahead and start in Brazil because it had to be Brazil. So we're going to start off over there. 4 transmissions. What we got? Blood transfusions from contaminated needles. Kissing bugs. Okay, so this I recognize from the brief Google search. The Triatomine, I think, beetle. It's a little beetle bug thingy, and I guess it somehow can spread it to you. So this is better in the hot countries. It's free. Sure, I'll take that, and that leads to kissing bug 2. That's a load of infectivity for 1 DNA. Holy crap. Yeah, I'll take some of that, thank you. Livestock, vectors of the parasite, and vertical transmission. Infected mothers can infect the newborns. Good for the wealthy countries. Not relevant in Brazil right now. Could go for the blood transfusion. Guess that I will. At least a level 2 of that. All right, any utensil infected with blood. Fine, so symptoms. We have both acute symptoms and chronic symptoms. Starting on the acute side, we have conjunctivitis, which is inflammation of the eyes, reduces future research speed. It's free as well. Again, just free? What's that mean? I don't even know what show that's from, actually. Esophageal dilation. This is based off the esophagus, right? Dilation of the esophagus. It doesn't even make sense how you pronounce that. Esophagus? Is it esophagus? Most people seem to colloquially pronounce it as esophagus, but it shouldn't be EU. Anyway, caused by meteorism, slightly increasing infectivity. Also free. Well, I'll take some of that. What else you got? We got vomit. I know how to pronounce vomit. Gastric reflux producing jet vomiting. And we got, oh frick. That's liver. Hepatosplenomegaly. Hepatosplenomegaly? God, that's a tongue twister and a half. Liver and spleen enlargement due to portal hypertension. Increasing severity, also free and lethal. There's a lot of free things here. Why is everything so cheap? Great bargains. Syncope. Syncope. I'm sorry, syncope. I forget that it's pronounced that way with the E. Temporary loss of consciousness caused by low blood supply to the central nervous system, increases severity and lethality. Fine, don't want that. Anorrhythmia, abnormal heart rhythm. Again, free. Something is up with everything being cheap for some reason. It probably shouldn't be. For abilities, we got our cold resistance. We got symbiosis. Okay, that's reduced severity. We have genetic reshuffle, we have drug resistance, genetic hardening. We do not have heat resistance. So yeah, the author was correct that you really do want to start in a hot country, and Central and South America works well for that because otherwise you would not get any natural heat resistance. You've spent DNA points. Really? No way, game. I didn't know that's how you played. Oh, pop the orange bubbles, you say. God, this game insists on holding my hand as if I'm some sort of an idiot. I don't know what they think they're doing. Hemophilic agent. A single drop of blood is sufficient to produce the disease. Produce the disease? Yikes. All right, fine. It begins to spread outside of Brazil. Only 50 people infected so far, but that'll change quick. We got the arrhythmia. No, can't allow that. That's way too lethal. Sorry, go away. I don't even want more severity, if I'm honest. The thing is, we have enough severity. I can focus on getting some more transmissions, and that's not a bad idea, but like, this is all so cheap. I feel like I'm kind of breaking the game slightly. Better in wealthy countries doesn't do me any good. We're gonna go for some livestock. That would lead to livestock 2, and presumably another gating mechanism behind both the kissing bug and the livestock. Kissing sheep? And a sheep walk up to you and go, bah, mwah, 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 mwah. And all of a sudden you die? I don't know. Could be. Let's try for it. What do we get? Zoonosis. Oh, not quite as fun as the kissing sheep, but all right. Every warm-blooded living being is a vector of the disease. Not cold-blooded though. Lizards are immune. Any sort of reptile, actually, but there you go. All right, so we've spread into a lot of places. God, yes, I know how to play the game. Conjunctivitis is actually okay. That's not a bad mutation, but anything more than this is probably dangerous. Malaise. General decay makes a subject do not want to perform their daily tasks, again, reducing the research speed. I could go for symbiosis. This much severity actually serves my purposes well, though. I think I'll go for some drug resistance for now, but we haven't even gotten any of the rich countries, so yeah, we're sort of struggling with this. They're really getting upset about me. They're kind of detecting me and getting all, like, peeved, thinking, oh god, we're all gonna die. And you probably are, but that's beside the point. Breastfeeding mothers can infect their children. You thought that if they were born without getting the disease, they were safe with their own immune system? Ridiculous! That's why you should always use formula, moms. I actually say that completely ignorantly. I know some women who find a certain level of intimacy in that, but that's beside the point. I don't want to get into that right now. Food contamination. Any untreated animal food can transmit the diseases. And that's why you don't buy processed, horrible foods for your doggo. Make them eat vegan. It's actually animal cruelty. Don't do that at all. Syncope, I guess I could get rid of this. It does increase lethality, and I'm not sure I want that yet. I'm a little bit wary about getting too much severity right now. Literally everything else can hurt me except for maybe vomiting. That leads to a cough. Cough is fine. I'll take the infectivity from some of that. But anything more, no. Let's get at least one level of the cold resistance. I do want to get some more drug resistance so we can spread a little bit faster in Europe. We're starting to get around pretty quick. Turns out once you get into a country, a lot of them start to explode in their cultures of the parasite. So yeah, we're getting around. All the kissing bugs. All the kissing bugs. Wow, I'm getting so much DNA out of all these right now. And yet, that's not actually a ton of DNA. It feels like we could use more severity, I suppose. But I don't wanna. It's just not worth it right now. What have we not infected? Well, we haven't gotten into Greenland. That's the only island. Nope, I take it back. The Caribbean and the Philippines. Those are a couple more islands. Well, we're fully infected in the USA. So I imagine we're gonna get a boat into the Caribbean pretty soon. Let's go ahead and grab some more symbiosis. I want to reduce the likelihood of them curing me or working on that too aggressively. More infectious than the common cold. Dude, we got 2.4 billion people infected in like a couple of months. Okay, of course we're more infective than the common freaking cold. There's the Caribbean. I think I just saw Greenland as well. Is that it? Baltic states are the only ones left. All right, never mind. Go ahead and just open this spigot. Still 0 points. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say I think that one major downside of the scenario is that the costing of all of these different symptoms is messed up. They're way too cheap. I don't think the author took into account that symptostasis kind of breaks the game. Let's go for the hepatosplenomegaly. Frick, I almost had it there. Acute myocarditis. Acute inflammation of the heart muscle. Very lethal. Not sure I want that yet. Could go for syncope. I guess we'll pick that up. That leads to encephalitis. Encephalitis is usually pretty darn lethal. World Cup canceled. Oh, really? It's about time. Hey, we're in all those countries. Cool. So what else do we want to do? Well, they are working on the cure. We'll grab some genetic hardening and slow it down. There's encephalitis. I wish I had necrosis, because right now I don't feel super comfortable with too high of a lethality rate because there's too many countries we still have not hit critical mass in. Polyneuropathy. Affection of axonal terminals, generates paresis and paresthesia. Reduces future research. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I like that there's a lot of options to fight back the cure. That's great. Kill more people than the Black Death. Really? Only 100 million? I mean, I know that the Black Death killed like a third of Europe, but like, was it only 100 million? Was the population that low? I guess it kind of was back then, wasn't it? Yeah, like look at this in Greenland. We're just not spreading fast enough for me to feel very comfortable with this anymore, and I feel like we're in danger. But nothing else is going to increase my infectivity, really. So the only thing I could do is potentially reduce lethality. That's not as exciting. I don't have any other options, though. I guess we're going to pick up some more symbiosis. We can go for another level. That goes to perfect symbiosis. The parasite's DNA fuses with its hosts, impossible to detect with immunohistochemical methods. Histochemical, is that? So I'm going off of root words here, based off of like how that's probably related to histamine. Histamine being related to allergies. That's why you take antihistamine in order to try and reduce the allergic response to something. So is that how they would detect a parasite? They are literally trying to detect effectively what is an allergic response to a foreign invader in the human body? Did I just figure out how that works just based on Latin roots and other context clues? Maybe. I mean, I don't consider myself to know anything about medical anything except for watching a lot of House back in the day. Okay, there are no people left in the healthy people left in the world. Perfect. Let's go for the polyneuropathy that leads to brain abscesses. Then we can go for congestive cardiac failure, then acute myocarditis, then thromboembolism. Thromboembolism? Lorem ipsum dolor sit emet, so no description involved in that. Okay, cool. Then we'll grab for the auricular fibrillation. It's a special kind of arrhythmia. And then ventricular fibrillation, the deadliest type of fibrillation generated by failures of the signal transduction system, increases severity and lethality. Max that out. Everyone's going to drop dead very, very quickly all of a sudden. Let's go ahead and grab some of that genetic reshuffle. We'll go ahead and pick that up too. And it looks like there's a missing trait right here locked behind cold resistance. So that's a slight error on the author's part right there, but okay. Yeah, okay. I have no idea if this isn't even slightly remotely accurate to the real-life disease. There wasn't a whole lot that made me think that there was, aside from the kissing bugs, which, yes, that's definitely how you contract the disease in Central and South America, but as far as symptoms, I don't know. Seems like it mostly affected the heart and other certain circulatory systems. Maybe that's correct. I don't know. Either way, 270 days, 49% cure progress, 86,523 points, 3 stars overall because we went pretty fast. Overall, I am assuming that it's accurate, so I'll go ahead and just take them at their word for that one. I don't see anything to say that it's not. I think the biggest downside of this disease is that ultimately too many things were too cheap. So it was easy to pick up too much. Now, the thing that kind of worked in its favor is because I didn't want to go too heavy on lethality. Even though I could afford all the symptoms pretty much on day one, you don't want to because the over-excess of lethality stats will mean that you lose. So that kind of helped prevent it from becoming like a total detriment to the scenario. But the other way to do that is to gate it behind costing more DNA. So I would say that needs to be worked on a little bit more beyond that. But anyway, overall, not a bad scenario at all. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.